It's early evening in a quiet central London street. It's raining outside, but not too much, so you don't need an umbrella. The street on which you walk is lined with Edwardian and Georgian-style buildings, around 3 stories high, each housing residences occupied by local gentry. The scenes through ground floor windows look cozy, with open fireplaces, antique chandeliers, and expensive one-of-a-kind artwork on the walls. The rooms look inviting, but you're glad to be outdoors, walking towards the Museum of Wonders, an interactive place where past, present, and future merge in perfect harmony. Turning the corner, you enter the park through a tall, black wrought iron gate and follow a gravel pathway. The tiny grey and white stones crunch beneath your feet as you stroll beneath an avenue of solid oak and silver birch trees. Old gas lamps illuminate one by one as you pass by, and stray leaves flutter to the ground at your feet from the branches. The sweet scent of roses fills the air, their delicate fragrance dancing on the gentle breeze. There's an opening in front of you, at the end of the tree-lined avenue, with an impressive marble statue of a famous scientist in the middle. And behind it, steps climb towards the entrance of the museum. The museum structure is built in dark red brick with a Gothic revival design. You see archways on either side, columns and spires above. Large oval windows are decorated in stained glass with pictures of different animals, maps, and planets on them. You narrow your eyes to make out the animals etched in the windows. You can see one in particular that appears to have large flipper-like legs on either side and a long stretched out neck. You begin to contemplate what this creature might be. You realize, after a few seconds, you can see a giant turtle, like the ones you find on faraway islands that live to be over 100 years old. On the red brick tower in the center, an astronomical clock chimes 6 on the hour, and as you observe, small statues of people from around the world make an appearance, clinking twinkling bells to welcome the new hour. Looking around, you notice you're the only one watching. This evening you have the museum all to yourself. The curator has opened it just for you, for a private tour. And you feel very privileged to be here. You begin to climb the steps to the main door. An older lady wearing a badge greets you. She introduces herself as Frances. Frances is a very knowledgeable person. She knows every single exhibit in the museum from memory, and all of their stories. If you were to ask her, she could tell you dates, times, species, locations, and much, much more. But tonight, she's going to be taking inventory and preparing an area for some new arrivals. So you have the museum all to yourself to explore at your leisure. She informs you she will be in the curator's office on the first floor if you need her, but you already know you'll be just fine. As Frances walks away, she giggles and says, If you fall asleep, don't worry, I will wake you in the morning. What an odd thing to say, you think to yourself as you watch her walk away, humming softly to herself. In front of you, there's a long open room, tropical in design with a glass ceiling, a bit like a greenhouse. A long stone pathway winds through the center. At either side of you, exotic plants, gardens and palm trees, and to your right, there's a trickling stream filled with koi fish, bright orange and white in color, swimming with the natural flow beneath ornate Japanese-style wooden bridges. You stand on one of the bridges for a second beneath a palm tree and begin to watch the fish. They weave in and out of perfectly placed stones and rocks, their movements mesmerizing as they swim without a care in the world. Looking around, you see the place is a natural paradise. Butterflies hide in the local foliage, and you are sure you can see a toucan in the branches. All along the pathway, there are signs with names and pictures of different species and maps of where they can be found in the world today. You continue walking beside the stream until you reach an automatic glass door leading to an old-fashioned hall. Pushing the button which says "Press to open" on your right, you enter. The room is impressive, a bit like the interior of a cathedral, all crafted with polished wooden floors and distinctive dark wood, with tall ceilings and arched windows. In front of you, there's a sweeping staircase leading to a wraparound balcony on the upper floors. Then you see it. The main attraction of the room with two huge bony feet attached to a plinth on the floor by strong metal wires. You observe the size of the feet and are distracted by the thought of them wearing rubber Wellington boots or giant sneakers. From the feet, you glance upward to see the bones, lots of them. The skeletal ribcage of a Tyrannosaurus rex. Its tail points almost straight, and tiny paws are held at its chest. You can't help thinking it looks